Love him or hate him, Andrew Tate is one of the most polarizing figures of our time. But here's the real question. Has the media already decided his fate before the courts have? Are we witnessing justice or a modern-day witch hunt? Andrew Tate, a former kickboxing world champion turned internet personality, has built a massive following by preaching financial independence, masculinity, and self-improvement. But his unapologetic, often brash takes have also made him a target of controversy. Recently, Tate has faced serious legal battles, including allegations of human trafficking and organized crime. His supporters argue that he's being unfairly persecuted for his views, while critics claim the charges are a long overdue reckoning. Known for his flashy lifestyle, outspoken opinions, and viral online presence, Tate has never shied away from controversy. But his current legal struggles raise a critical issue. Are we holding him accountable for real crimes or punishing him for being a disruptive voice? Stay with us as we break down the case, analyze expert opinions, and, most importantly, discuss why due process matters for everyone, no matter who they are. Before we get started, let us know in the comments, do you believe Andrew Tate is being treated fairly, or is this an agenda-driven takedown? Background. Rise to fame. Andrew Tate first made a name for himself in the world of professional kickboxing, earning multiple championship titles. However, it wasn't his athletic prowess that skyrocketed him to global fame. It was his unapologetic, often divisive presence on social media. Through his online persona, Tate branded himself as a self-made millionaire, mentor, and provocateur. His viral clips, often boasting about wealth, women, and power, have drawn millions of followers, but they've also sparked heated debates. His public stances and activities. Tate's philosophy revolves around self-discipline, financial freedom, and masculinity, values he claims are under attack in modern society. He founded Hustlers University, a controversial online program promising financial success, and frequently speaks out against what he calls the weakening of men in today's world. But his outspoken nature has also led to bans from major platforms, accusations of misogyny, and now serious legal troubles. Some see him as a truth teller exposing uncomfortable realities, while others label him as a dangerous influencer promoting toxic ideals. The divide. One thing is clear, Andrew Tate is not just a social media personality. He's a cultural phenomenon. Whether you view him as an inspiration or a warning sign, his impact is undeniable. But now, with the weight of legal battles against him, his future hangs in the balance. Is he a victim of an unjust system, or is he finally facing the consequences of his actions? Legal issues in Romania. Overview of the charges against Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate, along with his brother Tristan, was arrested in Romania on allegations of human trafficking, organized crime, and sexual exploitation. Authorities claimed that Tate and his associates recruited women under false pretenses, forcing them into online adult content production. The charges suggested a coordinated operation aimed at financial gain. However, Tate has consistently denied these accusations, asserting that he is being targeted for his outspoken views. His defense argues that the alleged victims willingly participated and that no concrete evidence supports the claims of coercion or abuse. Despite the sensationalized media coverage, many details of the case remain ambiguous, leaving room for speculation about whether this is a justified prosecution or an attempt to silence a controversial figure. Details of his detention and release in Romania. In December 2022, Romanian authorities raided Tate's residence and took him into custody, citing the need for further investigation. What was initially described as a short-term detention turned into months behind bars without formal charges. His extended detention, repeatedly justified under Romanian law as a precautionary measure, sparked international debate on whether his human rights were being violated. After spending nearly 3 months in a Romanian prison, Tate was released and placed under house arrest in March 2023. The court's reasoning for his release remained vague, fueling both relief from his supporters and further questions about the integrity of the case. His legal team repeatedly criticized the prolonged detention, arguing that keeping him locked up without evidence set a dangerous precedent for judicial overreach. Procedural errors and dismissal of the case. As the legal proceedings continued, inconsistencies in the prosecution's case began to emerge. Reports surfaced of procedural errors, including alleged misinterpretations of evidence and testimonies that failed to directly link Tate to criminal activities. Some key witnesses retracted statements or expressed doubt about the claims made against him. Additionally, leaked documents suggested that certain evidence used to justify his arrest was circumstantial at best. These developments raised concerns that the case was not built on solid legal foundations, but rather fueled by public perception and political pressure. While some charges were dropped or reevaluated, the legal battle continued, and the controversy surrounding the process only deepened. How the Romanian judicial system handled his case. The handling of Tate's case has placed a spotlight on Romania's judicial system, which has been criticized for its lengthy pre-trial detention practices and alleged susceptibility to political influence. Romania, as a member of the European Union, faces scrutiny over due process and legal fairness. Critics argue that Tate's case is an example of the system's broader issues, where high-profile figures can be detained for extended periods without solid charges. Supporters claim this was a politically motivated attack designed to make an example out of him, while others insist that the investigation was necessary due to the severity of the allegations. Regardless of one's stance, the case raises important discussions about judicial ethics, media influence on legal proceedings, and the fine line between legitimate prosecution and targeted persecution. Travel to the United States. Andrew Tate's recent travel to Florida. In late February 2025, Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan arrived in Florida after Romanian authorities lifted their travel ban. Reports suggest U.S. officials, including figures within the Trump administration, played a role in securing their departure. The brothers, dual citizens of the U.S. and U.K., had been under investigation in Romania since 2022 for human trafficking and organized crime. Their sudden arrival in Florida sparked intense media attention and public scrutiny. Reactions from Florida officials and public figures. Florida officials reacted strongly to the Tates' arrival. Governor Ron DeSantis stated individuals with such allegations were not welcome, reinforcing Florida's firm stance on human trafficking. Attorney General James Othmeier also announced a preliminary investigation into their activities. These statements emphasized the state's commitment to holding accountable those accused of serious crimes. Public figures also weighed in. On The View, Alyssa Farah Griffin condemned the Tates' misogynistic behavior, criticizing the conservative support they've received. She noted that even some Republicans distanced themselves from the brothers, reflecting wider societal backlash. How he was allowed to enter the U.S. Despite ongoing legal issues, the Tates' entry into the U.S. was legally permissible due to their citizenship. However, reports indicate that travel restrictions were lifted after intervention from high-level U.S. officials. While they had the right to return, their arrival amid unresolved legal matters raised concerns about the ethical and legal implications of allowing them back. Public reaction and controversy. Social media reactions and trends. Andrew Tate's return to the United States ignited a firestorm across social media platforms. On Twitter, hashtags like #TateReturn and #TateIsBack trended for days, reflecting the polarized opinions surrounding his presence. Supporters celebrated his return, viewing it as a triumph over what they perceive as unjust persecution. They flooded platforms with messages praising Tate's resilience and reiterating his messages about masculinity and self-empowerment. Conversely, critics expressed outrage, emphasizing the serious allegations he faces and condemning the support he continues to receive. Memes, debates, and think pieces proliferated, illustrating the deep divide in public sentiment. Notably, platforms like TikTok saw a resurgence of both pro-Tate content and videos deconstructing his ideology, leading to renewed discussions about platform responsibility in moderating content. Impact on his followers and critics. Tate's return has significantly impacted both his followers and critics. For his followers, his return has been galvanizing. Online communities dedicated to his teachings have seen increased activity, with members expressing renewed commitment to his philosophies. This resurgence has raised concerns among educators and parents about the potential spread of misogynistic ideas among impressionable youths. Teachers have reported challenges in addressing these topics in classrooms, noting a rise in students echoing Tate's rhetoric. Critics, including advocacy groups and public figures, have intensified their efforts to counter his influence. Campaigns aiming to educate young people about the dangers of such ideologies have gained momentum. Public figures have also taken stands. For instance, UFC President Dana White faced criticism for his association with Tate, as highlighted in a recent New York Times article. This association has sparked debates about the responsibilities of public figures in endorsing controversial personalities. Analysis of public perception and why some people may dislike him. Public perception of Andrew Tate is deeply divided, rooted in his controversial persona and actions. Critics argue that his views perpetuate harmful gender stereotypes and contribute to a culture that normalizes violence against women. His association with far-right ideologies and figures further alienates those who view such affiliations as dangerous. Additionally, allegations of human trafficking and sexual exploitation have cemented negative perceptions, leading many to see him as a symbol of toxic masculinity and misogyny. This polarization reflects broader societal debates about free speech, gender equality, and the influence of internet personalities on youth culture. Andrew Tate's perspective. Excerpts from Andrew Tate's interviews or statements. In his first interview since leaving Romania, Andrew Tate criticized the United Kingdom as a fallen nation, lacking masculinity, and accused the UK government of contributing to the downfall of his public image. He praised former President Donald Trump for aiding their escape despite never having met him. Tate has also taunted Florida authorities on social media, boasting about regularly deleting his electronic data and suggesting that officials are fearful of his political influence. His views on the legal process and media treatment. Tate has been vocal about his dissatisfaction with the legal proceedings against him, labeling the case as empty and asserting that authorities know we have done nothing wrong. He expressed disappointment in Florida Governor Ron DeSantis for allegedly succumbing to media pressure, following the governor's declaration that the Tate brothers were not welcome in Florida. He challenged them with the phrase, "Arrest me," daring authorities to take action against him despite his claims of innocence. Personal reflections on his situation. Tate maintains his innocence, emphasizing that he has not been convicted of any crimes. He has also expressed intentions to reside in Florida despite the controversies surrounding his return to the U.S., citing his American citizenship and his father's military service. Tate's defiant stance is evident in his social media posts, where he challenges authorities with statements like, "Arrest me," reflecting his belief that the legal actions against him are unfounded. Conclusion and future developments. Summary of current situation. As of March 2025, Andrew and Tristan Tate are facing multiple legal challenges. In Romania, they are indicted on charges of human trafficking, rape, and organized crime. Despite leaving for the U.S., Romanian authorities state they must return for legal proceedings. In the UK, a European arrest warrant was issued for past allegations of sexual aggression. Florida authorities have also launched a criminal investigation, adding another layer of legal scrutiny. Meanwhile, civil cases related to tax evasion threaten their financial empire. Speculation on future legal or public developments. The Tates' legal battles are expected to escalate. In Romania, authorities insist their departure does not exempt them from court obligations, and failure to appear could lead to detention. In the UK, extradition proceedings could move forward due to the European arrest warrant. Their civil tax evasion case may result in heavy financial penalties. In Florida, the criminal investigation could lead to further legal action. Public opinion remains polarized. Some see them as victims of systemic overreach, while others believe accountability is long overdue. Regardless of where you stand, due process must be upheld. Justice should be impartial and based on facts, not media narratives. This case highlights deeper debates on legal fairness and accountability. We encourage respectful discussion in the comments. Do you believe Tate is being unfairly targeted, or are his legal troubles justified? Let's talk about the importance of a system that treats all individuals fairly. Make sure to like and subscribe for more videos like these in the future.